What's up, gamers, and welcome back for more WotC-20. We are coming at you from round 1 of the first WotC-1K at Imperial Games in Connecticut. Big tournament we've been excited to see kick off, and it looks like round 1 is going to be Wigglytuff, which had a lot of representation at this tournament, versus Giovanni's Machamp, more of a rogue deck, but nonetheless has a good type matchup here, so this should be a fun one. Looks like both sides are going to be starting with a Cleffa versus a Porygon, and of course on Tuff's side a Jigglypuff as they take turn 1. So, Psychic Attach for turn on that Cleffa will immediately go into an Eek. Porygon doesn't have a baby rule, so it's pretty much free. But not much else to do on turn 1, it looks like, as turn 1 gets taken for Giovanni's Machamp, and right off the bat there is Giovanni's Machop, and it gets a single fighting attachment for the turn. There's only one printing of Machop and Machop and Machamp for the Giovanni line, so that'll keep things a little simple for us. But debating whether or not to bench a Vending Mime, I certainly wouldn't. You want to take advantage of the fighting weakness of Tuff for sure. But Vending Mime does get benched. Oh no. Okay, I think that's a mistake, but gusting up Jigglypuff, oaking away a Warp Energy into a full hand, and finding a Cleffa, that's all good. The attach for turn was already used. Now, in this Giovanni's Machamp's deck, you are stacking Giovanni's Machamp and its Fortitude ability with Focus Bands, which is very fun, but you can use Goop Gas to toggle this Vending Mime on and off as you see fit. I just personally would not have benched it. Recycle energy for turn to Jigglypuff as it stares down a Cleffa, and Computer Search throwing away another Recycle and a Boost Energy to go and find what I think is going to be Fan Club. There it is. Helps build that bench up early. And there's also a Gust in hand. We'll see how much defensive gusting there is. And Fan Club grabbing Jigglypuff, number 2. And of course Sentret for that Furret, which is so good at finding energy, putting cards back into your deck, and just playing a very strong support role in this meta. And there is the defensive Gust targeting that Mime. It has a retreat cost of 1. Jigglypuff retreating, Cleffa guaranteeing itself an Eek here. And that will be Eek, sending a lot of energy back in as turns pass. An awkward hand here from Machamp. Definitely want Cleffa back in the active. There's plenty of fighting energy, but 2 item finders and Town V isn't really what you want to see right now. Giovanni's Last Resort isn't really what you want to see right now. We'll see what they do with it while Eek is resolving. And if you are curious what Porygon is doing here, that is for Porygon 2 from Aquapolis. Backup has good synergy with Giovanni's Last Resort, where you can fully heal Machamp. Of course, you have to discard your hand, but then Porygon 2 has backup, so you can fill your hand up to 3. Or actually, you have to fill it to 3 if you have fewer than 3 if you choose to use it, but it's a good way to keep some sort of a hand while you heal up Machamps. Instead of retreating the Mime, it's going to be an attach for turn on Machop, so giving Tuff the chance to set up here. There's a Furret and another Puff. Bench is only going to get bigger. Why not? There's the Furret. You can even use Furret here to tuck 2 and get something like a DCE, an attachment that you really want for this turn, and then you can Eek into a fresh hand anyway. Scavenger hunt happening. You do see a no removal gym. Not sure if we'll see it this game or if it'll matter too much. There's the DCE like we were talking about. I assume that will go on to a Puff. And depending on how fast Tuff can get set up, Giovanni's Machamp only has 50 HP. So Do the Wave can definitely handle that. DCE to Jigglypuff, along with a Strength Charm. Another Puff joins the bench, not surprising, and Eek. So Giovanni's Machamp here needs to start finding ways to get going. Keeping that Mime in the active is definitely tough when the opponent can just keep eking. Another Machamp joins the bench, that'll help. Now we're seeing an item finder throwing away a Fighting Energy and a Last Resort to grab Oak, which will Oak away the rest of the hand, which was a Fighting Energy. Will they use it? They'll attach first. Oh, reconsiderations. Oaking away the Town V and the item finder here would be really tough. 2 item finders and Town V in the bin this early is really desperate stuff, but you don't want to get blown out by Tuff either. It could become a drag race, and Machamp does take 4 attaches to get up and running. Instead, the attached return goes to the other Machamp, and there's the Oak throwing away item finder and Town V. So now that that line of play has been committed to, really gotta commit to it. Finds a Machoke off the Oak. That'll help. There's a Trader in hand, a Switch. It's a fun tech card. DCE is a little surprising to see just because Machamp can't really leverage it. That's really more for the Porygon line, but I wouldn't hinge on attacking with Porygon too much. Plenty of gas in hand. And turns pass back. Worth noting, Headlock on Machoke is not half bad. It's 3 attaches, 2 fighting, 1 colorless, deals 20, and then you flip a coin. On heads it's 20 plus 20 and paralysis, so that's enough to take out a Tuff, which is really, really good. As long as that Mime can go away. And I think that's what they're trying to set up here, is fine, take the KO, you gusted it up, leave it active, get your setup, I can make a comeback with the fighting advantage and the typing advantage if need be. So that does look like what's going on here. Hard to play comeback though with Finder and 2 Town Vs, or sorry, 2 Finders and a Town V in the bin. That's tough, so. Furret tucking. And if I were Tuff, I would just recognize the opting into a slow play here. Wait to find something like another Gust, keep the Mime alive, set up your Tuff slowly. Yeah, I would grab the DCE, you're not in a rush here. You don't have to come in immediately with the Strength Charm Tuff and take a knockout. I would defer on that for now. Oh, there's a boost in hand too, and yep, like we're talking about, there's that DCE to the other Tuff into an Eek. Yeah, even with the type advantage, going through so many Wigglytuffs is going to be tough. Of course, Hurricane Punch, the math gets awkward there a little bit. If Machamp gets set up, you'll be doing Hurricane Punch for 3 fighting and a colorless. You flip 4 coins. For each heads, you deal 30, so up to 120, which is nice, but to hit 80 on tough, you need 2 out of 4 heads, which would be a lot better if it was just 1. Comp Search, something out of this deck. As long as you've got the energy for Machamp. Machamp can hang around for a while, but we know there's one last resort in the bin. Fortitude can proc multiple times, but you gotta feel a little lucky doing that. Of course, Machamp is a fun deck. It's never out of it. It can high roll. It can definitely low roll, though. And the low rolling is pretty low. ER comes down, so that Stadium for tough, sorely missed at the moment, takes a DCE off the board. Not too bad with Furret, but it helps. And there is Mime, so Warp Energy puts Mime on the bench. Cleffa back active, but the attach return was used. Keeping that Mime alive is really going to be something to keep an eye on. Unknown E-Tech card drawn. Good old Engage. It's like an opt-in Shaman for you and your opponent. Friend Ball. Targeting the Cleffa. Could also target the Porygon for this deck. Probably going to go and grab a Wigglytuff. And there's that tough. Pretty good hand for tough here, can do a lot of things. Bench fills up with another Cleffa, so Do the Wave is going to be doing 60, tucking with Furret here. And now do you start getting aggressive. If you can find a Gust, get that Machoken at 80 and do the Wave for 80 because you run plus powers as well as the Strength Charm, you can really lopside the game here. Grabbing a boost with Furret. And there is a Gust in hand, oh no. Oh no. The prophecy is coming true. Here comes a Strength Charm Tough. Are we going to see boost and plus power? Are they going to Oak into it? There's the boost. Could they Item Finder it? You don't want to toss the Oak. It's going to be Oak. Oh man. Finder and Unknown to the bin, looking for a plus power for a massive knockout. There's a Comp Surge. That can do it. Just got to throw some energy away. I would go for it. Yep. Computer Search throwing away an Igglybuff and a Psychic Energy. Definitely aren't going to need those. Oh man. This is going to be a pivotal knockout for the first prize of the match. Taking a third of the match to get to this first prize, but what a first prize. Math being math, that's 80. 2 fighting into the bin off of that KO. And now it does not look good. Of course, things will slow down a little bit because that boost means this Tuff has nothing attached to it now. DCE on the Cleffa. A reasonably sized copycat of 5. Like we were saying before, the line of play taken by Machamp at this point, without Town V, without 2 finders, you gotta hope you draw perfectly into setting up this Machamp. I think the whole game plan now rides on this benched Machamp. There's a Focus Band. Too bad that wasn't found earlier. Would have made gusting the Machoke really scary. And an Eek. Deck getting a little thin. Going to use Furret, probably going to go grab DCE. I don't think there's a rush to do that. I would definitely put the Stadium down. You know, there was 1 ER in the deck. Usually decks don't run a single copy of energy removal. Usually it's 0, 2, or more. Interestingly enough, this also seems to be a energy removal list Tuff list. Usually ER is pretty common to see in Tuff as a 3 of. And it's DCE to the Tuff and the active. Lullaby attempted to put this Cleffa to sleep. And it's good. Wouldn't have minded just seeing the recycle for turn there instead of the DCE. Rolling back, Tails for Cleffa. There's a Machoke getting set up here. Definitely attached for turn with that fighting energy, so now we're back where we were just a couple turns ago. There is a Machamp in hand as well. Porygon 2 comes down. Gotta be careful with backup though, with your deck running low. Oak in hand too, yikes, but Machamp not in a terrible spot. I like the hand right now, I'd keep it. Being asleep's not too bad. Cleffa in between turns is now awake. Now I think we're just going to start seeing the wave train roll in. Active Tuff can get going here with a recycle. You have another in hand for the benched one. Plenty of shenanigans with Furret available to you as well. Do the wave. Will we see a new prize taken? We will. Prizing 4-6 in favor of Tuff right now. Another Cleffa comes up. Another Focus Band drawn. That's a big deal. You might be able to ride this Machamp to victory on his big, strong shoulders with 4 arms. 3 fighting now attached to Machoke. Like we were talking about before, Headlock does present a knockout option. There's the Machamp. And turn will pass. Now this Mime's sticking around. Very problematic. Tucking 2 with Furret. So now Machamp is going to need 3 out of 4 heads to knock out each Tuff instead of just 2 because of Vending Mime here. And what will Furret grab? Interestingly, the Wigglytuff and Pichu combo in this Tuff list from the deck peep would allow you to gaze down the Machamp if it's benched and then zap it to get around Fortitude. That'd be cool. That's probably not going to happen this game. Recycle for turn to Tuff, as we were talking about before. 2 fully healthy Tuffs available to do the wave over and over. No removal gen coming down, so energy removal requires you to discard 2 additional cards to even use it now. Probably not even worth using given the energy momentum on Tuff's side. And was that an oak? I guess it was an oak. Drawing 7 there. And it is a Tails on Do the Wave, so Cleffa holds up. Prizing still only 4-6. This isn't over yet. Then you have Oak and Copycat and a Focus Band. I would really... yeah, I would avoid using that Oak for the game, probably. Big Copycat. All you need is 1 energy, and then I'd get in there and start smacking things. Hurricane Punch is fun. DCE drawn, there's a Fighting Energy. Fighting to Machamp. Alright, we're online. It took a bit to get here. Took half the match, but we're finally set up. Another Machamp joins the bench. I don't know if that one's going to get a chance to set up. Guess it depends on what your prizing is if there's another Machoke available. And here comes Machamp. I've yet to see Goop Gas end up in the hand for Machamp, so they might not run Goop Gas. And here comes Hurricane Punch, so count the heads. You get 4 chances. 30 damage for each heads. Alright, good luck. One, 2, 3. That's 3. That's enough. That's 1 tough down. First prize of the match for Machamp. Giovanni Roulette paying off. Recycled a hand for tough. And this is why Machamp is scary. Furret going to Tuck. Is it going to be for a boost? There's also always Lullaby to put Machamp to sleep to shut off Fortitude if you get lucky with the sleep counts. But there's also that Focus Band. And you are allowed, when potentially knocked out, to choose to activate Fortitude before Focus Band, thus preserving the Focus Band if Fortitude succeeds, so. A noteworthy interaction. Cleffa comes out, a new Tough comes in. Do the Wave weaker now, but Giovanni's Machamp only has 100 HP, so dealing 50 is plenty. Another Machamp was found, so all they gotta do is find another Machoke, but that could be the tricky part. Wouldn't go digging too hard for it. There's still a lot of prizes left to be grabbed. DCE attached for turn to that Porygon 2. Since it's powered up, we might as well talk about its attack. Hypnotic Ray deals 20 for 2 colorless and inflicts sleep to the opponent. Looks like we're going for Hurricane Punch. Can you count to 3 again? 1, 2, only 2. So that Vending Mime now being a problem. Pichu drawn off the top. I'd bench that. There's the Pichu. Baby's a little difficult for Giovanni's Machamp to deal with as well because you can get through the baby rule and then hit just all tails on Hurricane Punch. Or you can hit the baby for 120. I've done both. What was that roll for? Okay, so that was for saving Machamp with Fortitude. So now it's at 90. The Focus Band is preserved because Fortitude, the ability, kicked in. Clarifying which one was chosen for proc. I guess if you've never seen the deck before, that's a weird interaction, but it's correct. Alright, looks like they need judge clarification on this. This should be pretty quick though. You have the choice to pick Fortitude first. Alright, looks like we have to hit pause here. I think I already covered it, but basically the question is Fortitude and Focus Band proc at the same time. So what's the order of operations? The answer is the pilot gets to choose. And you're always going to want to choose Fortitude. Looks like they're moving ahead with the gameplay. Alright, I didn't hear confirmation there, but I guess they figured it out. And 2 heads, yep, that'll be enough to take out another tough. So prizing is now 4-4. Remember that Machamp here is at 90 damage out of 100. That Fortitude was a big deal. Okay, now they're coming back on the ruling. Not sure why they kept playing while waiting for it, but I guess all they would have done is had to discard the Focus Band. It wouldn't have been hard to rewind, but whatever. So, 4-4 on prizing. Machamp doing Machamp things. Tough trying to live a normal day. Recycle to yet another tough. Surprised they're not going for the Pichu line there. I guess you don't want to put damage on your Furret, but marking damage on the Porygon as well as the Mime seems attractive. Are they thinking about it? They're gonna bring the tough in. Oh no. Lullaby, okay. So I'm unsure about this Giovanni Machamp's list, but I run 3 Warp in mine just because it's a 3 retreat active to have. Oh, there's a switch, even better. This is going to be electric. Rolling for sleep, it's asleep. What a top deck. Switch meta is here. Attach for turn to the Machoke. With the opponent running the stadium they are, there's no chance you're going to get ER'd, right? Right? There's the switch, puts Cleffa in, free retreats out, Machamp's awake. How about another Hurricane Punch, huh? I would say, if you were tough the previous turn, getting cute with Lullaby is fine and all, but just hit through the ability and Focus Band, you know? That's what the deck forces you to do at least. And it can get in your head. Looks like that was 2 heads, 1 was off camera. Yep, okay. Again, that Mime really making this tricky for people. Another Puff joins the bench. It's got to be the 4th one. Tucking with Furret, gonna start powering that up, I guess. If Do the Wave can get through Fortitude and Focus Band, this game is gonna be effectively over. So it's a 25% chance to end the game on the spot, in my opinion. Retreating the tough. Here comes the Pichu plan. I was wondering when that would happen. Could have done that a couple of turns ago. It's all good. Machamp gets in your head like that. Here comes Zap. So this will hit Furret. It'll hit Mime and Porygon, but more importantly, how will it impact Machamp? I have no idea what that was. Why are we doing that? Hello? You are allowed to roll Fortitude there. Was Fortitude rolled for? Looks like they went straight to Focus Band. Okay. As far as I am aware, from watching this, that was not correct. Alright, Gust comes in. That'll allow Porygon to clean up his Tough at least. Prizing 3-3. That Machamp should be alive, I think. Pichu coming back in, using Zap. Mime now 10 away from getting knocked out. There's another Machamp on bench that'll take damage as well because of its ability. Porygon has 30 left to give. That allows Fur to come in and clean it up. Or Puff with Pound and damage augmentation like Strength Charmer plus power. Another Mime in the hand. Gonna go for Hypnotic Ray here. It's 20 in sleep, not the best against a baby. That's okay. It's a Tails anyway. Well, I think that's gonna pretty much... This other Machamp could get powered up. I'm surprised they were able to get it going. Town V for Puff and stuff. Gonna go and of course grab the Tough Lion. A Psychic Energy... And another Tough Line, not surprising. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape. Alright. Well, we might be... Oh, God. Okay. Yep, plus power, that'll do it. Deals 30 to the active now with Zap. And then 20 to everyone else. Alright, that's a double prize. So double prize turn means that Tough needs one more prize to close this out. Still 3 prizes remain for Machamp, who is down to a Cleffa, and an injured Machamp with 2 attaches. Another Machamp comes down. That's not gonna grow up. Turns pass back. Thin deck for Machamp, only 3 cards left. Recycle to Jigglypuff, because why not? Cleffa comes in, probably going to Eek here to look for that Wigglytuff to close out this game with a final prize, but it's a Tails anyway. Could always come in and try to boost KO with Furret. There's another Focus Band, so... But no energy to attach to the Machamp. Come on in and boost with Furret if you can. You've got Warps. You'll eventually draw the Tough naturally. You don't have to Eek into it. Yeah, do we see it? I think we do. Yep, there's the boost. This could be for game. There's another one in hand for next turn as well as you attempt to draw through, looking for the other Tough. But it's a Tails, so boost goes to the bin. Warp is drawn. You might as well attach that to Machamp, I guess. You need attaches every turn here. You're thin on deck. You need 3 more prizes. At least the Mime is gone, so you can chew through a little easier. Warp to the Machamp. It's gonna punch for a knockout. You never see that. Prizing 1 to 2 in favor of Tuff. I don't see any harm in coming in. Well, ooh, this gets interesting. Coming in with Jigglypuff is not that safe because Machamp does have a pretty funny attack in Fury Punch, but it's 2 fighting and there's a warp attached, so that probably doesn't matter actually. Fury Punch is a coin flip, and on heads you do 20 times the number of counters on Machamp, so that's probably not going to be a feasible path here. Fighting for turn to Machamp, but no cards in deck, so Machamp could even just deck out. Yeah, we might not even see all the prizes drawn. I think we're just looking at deck out. Just gonna punch, I guess. Hits the Pichu. Punching babies. There's the Tuff off the top. And that'll be enough damage for Due to Wave to seal it off. We won't see deck out, we'll just see a normal KO for the final prize, so that'll do it. I do think that Machamp KO earlier might have been mishandled, but that is okay. That's what happens with tabletop. So, for more WotC-20, give us a subscribe. We'll catch you later.